26, new Brown season, a lot of exciting news going on. I want to say hello to my good friend, the best coach in the NFL, Coach Stump Mitchell. Want to introduce our guy, Russell Johnson. Coach Stump, how are you?
I'm excellent. Good seeing you guys.
Same
Good to
here.
be back. I've been looking forward to today. Russell, how you feeling?
Everything is great in football season.
I want to introduce Russell Johnson, the COO and the SVP of the National High School Hall of Fame, him and Lamont Robinson. Showboat. I first want to take my hat off to you, Russell, and give you an applause. I think the High School Hall of Fame, who inducted Coach Stump here, has introduced a lot of people and connected a lot of bridges. I think is unsaid, and we have to give you a flowers today, my man, because what you guys did was historic. We're looking forward to the National High School Hall of Fame growing and expanding. I want to let our viewers know we're taking our Running Back University Stump Talk podcast to the HOF, network.tv streaming service. I want to let our guy Russell introduce the service and tell us what you see in the future for the streaming service you created.
Good evening, gentlemen. I appreciate for all of us being together tonight. So, welcome everyone to the Hall of Fame Network. This is the home for stories, conversations, and culture at the heart of sports and entertainment history. That's what we represent. Our mission is to connect fans, athletes, and legends with content that educates, inspires, and most of all, entertains. This is where legends live, where stories get told, and where the game keeps moving forward. We're pumped to put this team together with Running Back University podcast. You already know this is where real football talk meets the culture. Okay. We are proud to announce our partnership with the Running Back University podcast, bringing together the voices and experiences of some of the greatest that ever carried a football. A very special thank you to these two gentlemen, Mr. Coach Stump Mitchell, Ro Goldstein, for joining forces with us. Your vision and passion are helping us shape something truly unique for fans everywhere. This is just the beginning, so stay tuned as the Hall of Fame Network continues to celebrate the game, the players, and stories that matter the most. Check us out, hofnetwork.tv. We'll be available on Instagram, YouTube, also coming to TikTok and Snapchat and Facebook. So
I
be
want
good.
to point out that Stump and I will be the first podcast to join the streaming network. Uh, we are proud to say we're the first. I see the vision. We have a family-like relationship with you and Showboat, and we're going to do all we can to push it and grow the streaming service and make it come to life and make it huge for
Mhm.
community and sports events. So thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it. You guys have a great show.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you,
Yep. Coach.
Coach. Back in the saddle, back in the fold. I want to say how excited I am. I love talking football with you. This podcast is doesn't nearly feel like work. You know, your mind and what you represent for football and all the fans that love you in Northeastern Ohio. We're going to go right into our show, and we're going to open up the big story, which is the Browns versus the Bengals. Coach, who will win the game? Let's talk us through our offense and defense on both sides of the ball.
Well, I feel that the Browns are going to win the game because of Joe Flacco. I think both teams are going to be without a couple good players. You know, the Browns are going to be without Martin Emerson, who tore his Achilles doing a practice, and Sam Hubbard for the Bengals. He retired. So both of those teams are going to be without a key player. I think Trey Hendrickson. Of course, this will be his first game since last year because they just completed his contract, I think, last week. So this will be his first game. And I don't know if he'll be totally up to par, but I think Sam Hubbard and he together was probably one of the most dynamic uh, twosome in the league, along with Alex Smith and T.J. Watt in Pittsburgh. So I think they it's gonna be tough seeing if Greg Newsom can hold that corner now. He had been playing mostly corner I mean, mostly nickel. But now that Martin Emerson is out, Cam Mitchell will be playing that nickel position, and Greg will be out there on the island.
I want to ask you, Coach. Throughout last year, you talked about the team gelling and the game plan coming into the year. Last year, they had a lot of injuries and fluctuation with the personnel, and you thought that maybe that wasn't handled the best going into the season, knowing what was to come. The offense of the Browns, they brought Flacco back, and I got to remind our viewers, you talked about Flacco so much, Coach. I kind of thought that I said I wish he should stop talking about Flacco, and then I looked up and they re-signed him, which is pretty hilarious. But with Flacco and the offensive line, the things that are going on there, we talked about Junkins with Russell, who has not been signed yet. They've had some uh, changes at a wide receiver. Of course, Jerry Judy is there. So, do you think the offense will be ready to gel coming in at the start of the season? You predicted the Browns will win.
Oh yeah, I do. Jerome Ford caught Joe's first touchdown pass as a Brown. And you have the offensive linemen, those guys that were there, uh, Joe Batonio, Wyatt Tiller, Ethan Posick. I'm not sure if Ethan is healthy or not. I know he got injured the last preseason game. I haven't seen anything on it. Hadn't been really looking at it. But Dewan Jones, those guys, Joe, Jack Conklin, they feel great about it. The fact that Joe is back, and also Njoko David was there with him. Jerry Judy had a great year last year. Joe is just a guy who can throw the ball. I mean, he's a phenomenal guy. He's physical. He can break some tackles. So everybody feels good about him. But those guys on defense feel good about Joe as well. Miles Garrett, Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit, all those guys were there. They played with him. So they know they have a great chance of winning. Uh, the the Bengals have had a tough time winning against the Browns. The only one they really won, the Browns gave it to them. So I just feel good. I know the fans feel great. I know the owners feel great. And by having Joe, it makes Kevin a better play caller than he was. He's never been a great play caller with Deshaun. He's been an outstanding play caller with every other quarterback that he had.
Well, Coach, I want to jump to the defensive side of the ball. Jim Schwartz, you mentioned Emerson being out. I believe JOK, who I thought was a very dynamic defensive player, I believe he is out. They're looking at Jamar Chase and Higgins, Joe Burrow. They may have the most dynamic passing game in the league. Joe led the NFL in passing last year and in touchdowns, I believe. So, on the Browns' defensive side of the ball, Coach, are they going to be able to stop? Are they going to be able to stop the Bengals' offense?
They've always stopped the Bengals offense for the most part, except for, I mean, a game that we actually gave to the Brown. I mean, to the Bengals. Those guys over there, they've been there for a while. You got Mason Graham, a new guy who don't know what this rivalry is all about, and also you got Scott Peters, who's the offensive line coach for the Bengals. He's going to try to make sure he have a scheme there that where Miles doesn't wreak havoc. Miles is going to have to line up at different positions in order to try to get something going. But I think, of course, the Bengals are going to score, but I just think the Browns feel great. The fans are going to be there because Joe is back. Joe feels great. The only reason Joe is playing this game is because he knows he still can play it. And when you have guys around you, in the city around you, the people around you that believe in you, and now Kevin is going to be probably one of the best play caller he's ever been because of just he can just go out and call the game. He don't have to try to match wits or try to do anything to try to uh, make himself better or try to make Deshaun try to match wits with Deshaun. He'll just go out and he'll just call his game. And those guys, Joe will play a hell of a game. I think the Browns will win the game.
How many points will the Browns have to score? Is my first question. Secondly, Coach, Jerome Ford. You're a huge Jerome Ford guy. You were the first one to tell me that he's 1,000 yard per year back. Just needs the carries. How much will they have to rely on the running game? And what are your predictions for Jerome Ford this season? How many points do the Browns need to score to beat the Bengals opening day?
I think they're probably going to need to score 28 points. You're not. I don't think Cincinnati's going to score less than 21, but I think the Browns can do that if they can control the clock with the run game. I think it's no question. Joe is going to play well, and I think David, those receivers are going to play well. I think Cedric Tillman, he's going to get the opportunity. He's a big body. He'll be able to do some things. And like I said, Jerry Judy uh, is he had a great year last year. He'll have a even more phenomenal year this year with Flacco getting him the ball.
Um, the running back Judkins from Ohio State, he has some off the field things he worked out and got that figured out. He's moved on from that. We wishing him to get in the fold here, Coach. He's still unsigned. How realistic is it for a player, especially the running back position, to come back the opening weekend and actually play in the game? Do you think he'll play Sunday?
No, I don't think he'll play Sunday. He has no training camp, no nothing with the Browns. Uh, during the off season, of course, he probably was there doing after the draft and they camp and stuff. But once training camp started, he wasn't there. I don't see them playing him right now. Today is Tuesday. I just don't see it.
So if they sign him tomorrow, he still doesn't play Sunday, in your opinion?
Well, the Browns, they do whatever they want to do. I just don't see it. I mean, those other guys have been there. They know what he can do. I haven't watched him, uh, but I just know Jerome Ford. If you want to compare anything, but the Browns haven't really showed Jerome no love since he's been there, and he's a hell of a back. Uh, when you take a look at what he did stats wise, Jerome's stats are better than those guys. And you're talking about Jerome being in the pros and those guys being in college. Jerome is a quiet guy. He's gonna go out. He's gonna work. He's gonna do what he's got to do. And you know, we just don't seem to have love for those guys who will go out and do what they're supposed to do.
Coach, in the local media, especially in this market, the Shador Sanders roller coaster, and you and I kind of stick to the substance and the facts and what we see, and not get caught up in the hoopla. But I want to ask you about the Browns QB depth chart. Obviously, Flacco's the starter. He looked great in the first series in the preseason game he played, and he looked like the same old Joe, well-oiled machine, a veteran, someone you've always said that he was a solid guy. Um, they have the two rookies with Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders. They just signed Bailey Zapp, who's a veteran, had minimal success. Coach, what do you think happens there with that depth chart? We hope Flacco stays healthy. Do you think that Bailey Zapp will challenge Shador for that third string spot? And do they keep him on the practice squad, or how do you think that's going to work out throughout the season?
I don't know what's going to go there. I think you know, hopefully Joe stays healthy, but they won't. Hopefully they won't get past number two, Gabriel. Shador got some things he's got to clean up. I've seen that sack where they lost 20 yards. He really needed to step up into the pocket instead of trying to roll out to his left. It was a pretty good pocket inside. Had he stepped up, he would have been able to deliver the ball, get it out of bounds, or do something. But that was a bad thing, and he kind of reverted back to what he did in college. So uh, that's a tough deal. Uh, but they don't even want to go down that road. Those guys, you got some older veteran offensive linemen, you got some older guys on the team. They're looking at trying to get to the Super Bowl this year. They played the game long enough, even though Njoku and uh, Batonio, Greg Newsome, Denzel Ward, those guys, they've been there long enough. They want to win now. They're not looking for no future. The future is now for those guys. So they feel good with Joe. The offensive line is going to try to protect their butts off, and the defense is going to try to get some pressure and turnovers to make this a successful season for the Browns. We had a question here. Somebody wanted to know if we thought Junkin. I mean, if I thought uh, Samson will surpass Jerome Ford. Uh, I just know if someone showed Jerome Ford some love, his abilities could make him be one of the better backs in the league. So it all depends on what the Browns want. They never really shown Jerome any love. He was close to getting 1,000 yards rushing, and then we started rotating three guys. So he was only able to have 800 and some yards rushing. So and they made him take a pay cut to stay there this past year. So I don't know what Andrew Barry is looking at when you're talking about evaluating talent. But Jerome is one of the talented ass backs that you can have. He blocks in the passing game, and he also catches balls. So I don't know
How
what's going to
many
happen there.
carries, Coach? How many carries does Jerome Ford need to be 1,000 yard back, roughly?
Well, I would say probably 250. I mean, hell, if he had 200 carries last year, he would have been 1,000 yard back because he averaged over 5 yards a carry. But when you're getting the ball sporadically, it's tough to get in the groove. It's tough for the offensive lineman to get in the groove of run blocking. Kevin, that's another thing. He likes to pass the ball a whole hell of a lot. So sometimes it just don't work out that way.
I want to switch lanes a little bit, Coach. Something we talked about over the summer. I want to get into the Miles Garrett contract. You made a good correlation with the Micah Parsons contract, and I want to talk a little bit about. Tell me your thoughts on how the Browns dealt with Miles Garrett in comparison to Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons and the relationships there. What are your thoughts there on how each one was handled?
Well, they didn't have to do Miles' contract. I mean, and if Miles said he wanted to be gone, if he wanted to be gone, then okay, you got all the rights to Miles. They had all the rights to Miles. They could have shopped and see if anybody really had a whole lot of interest in Miles, and if they did, and the price was right, then you let him go. And because it's not a one man show. Uh, as a matter of fact, Trey Hendrickson was out there. He wanted a new contract. The Browns gave Miles a big contract. The past 2 years, they play in the same division. Trey Hendrickson has averaged 17 and a half sacks a game. Sacks a year. Miles has only averaged 14. So, hey, try to swap with with the Bengals and get Hendrickson. You wouldn't have to have paid him as much, but they did. And then for the owner to say there's some things that he didn't want to, he think Miles need to do to be a better leader. There's some things that he could do, but yet you gave him 40 million a year.
Well, I think, Coach, we talked about the agent, and his dealings with Jerry Jones, and then you mentioned Miles Garrett wanting to communicate directly with owner Haslam, and Andrew Berry wanted to get involved. Uh, do you think that each situation was handled correctly? Did the player win? Did the organization win in each of those transactions for the Dallas and the Cowboys, dealing with Parsons and Garrett?
Well, I was just from the statement that Mr. Haslam said that there's some things that Miles need to do, uh, and he expect him to do. Well, you gave him 40 million, so Miles won that deal. I think they definitely could have probably gotten Trey Hendrickson for a little less than they got. And Trey Henderson is a guy that works his butt off. Now, he has Sam Hubbard on the other side that helped him as well. Those two guys were a tough tandem in the division that they're playing in. So Miles got what he wanted. He got paid. And hopefully he'll have a heck of a season. And the Browns with Flacco can be very successful, have an opportunity to win that division because there's some great players on that team, but time is running out on them.
Coach, you always want to see players make their money. We are always pro player and looking at the business of football and the billions of dollars and the network contracts and things of that nature. Did the Cowboys overpay, or I should say, the Green Bay Packers? Now, did they overpay for Micah? And do you think the Browns overpaid for Garrett?
Well, I'm not going to say either one of them overpaid. What I will say is that Trey Hendrickson averaged more sacks than both of those guys. I mean, the last 2 years he's averaged 17 and a half sacks a season. So he's playing on his last deal in Cincinnati. He's going to be ready to go come Sunday. They better have something for him as well because he's going to be ready to go. And Dallas, if he can put together that type of season, now Dallas can go get Trey. And he's a guy that works hard every day, works hard every game. Uh, he just brings it. So Dallas feel like they did what they had to do to better them, put them in a position. And the deal was Jerry Jones said that the player called him,
Right.
and they had a deal. Okay, and then Michael called back and said, "Don't call him anymore. Deal with his agent." So I think Jerry at the end of the day is Jerry's team, and he's the general manager, and he knows that one man don't stop no show.
Very good. Coach, I want to switch screens here, see if we can get our guy. There's the man.
What's up?
I want to introduce our family and our sponsor, the president of the Tuscarawas County Browns backers. This is a full circle moment, you guys. I was thinking about it earlier today. Rich is I'm no spiritual guy, and I just believe in moving the right way and got to kind of do his thing. And Coach Stump, I don't know if he even remembers this. I met Rich because I was with Coach Stump Mitchell at a USFL game in Canton, or not USFL. What was the game we were watching, Rich? The
It was a USFL.
USFL. Okay, and I
Yep.
was with Coach Stump, and Rich was standing behind us, and I heard him say, "I think that's Stump Mitchell." And now, sometime later, we hear on the podcast, Coach. So, Coach Stump, I met you the same time you met him, and I want to say, Rich, you've done a lot for the podcast, for Coach Stump. You've done a lot for me, in regards to the game and sports. You're a big Browns guy. We're going to push the Browns backers and try to make it the biggest Browns backers in the world, and we're on our way. Welcome to the show, Rich Dessecker.
Well, I appreciate it. Then, like you said, Ro. I mean, the chapter was doing like mediocre until we had Stump down there, and once Stump got there, Stump totally changed the whole diameter of my chapter. And I can't thank you two enough for what you guys done for us.
It's always great to have an opportunity to come down there and work with you guys.
We'd love to have you back anytime.
So, Rich, we see we got the barcode in the corner.
Yep.
If anybody wants to join the Browns backers, Rich, tell us a little bit about the plans this upcoming season. We are going to periodically, let you come in and tell us about some of the events we have going with the Browns here at Tuscarawas County.
Well, actually, I'm going to announce we have two events coming up so far this year. September 14th, we have Felix Wright coming back down. This will be Felix's third time down. We're going to do like a little special ceremony for Felix. We're going to retire his jersey there. So that should be a fantastic event. And then October 12th, we have Frank Stamps, former Cleveland Brown, former Notre Dame All-American, and Dave Robinson, Green Bay Packer and NFL Hall of Famer down there as well.
Very good. Coach Stump, why don't you maybe give the people some insight on your experiences coming down here to our small town. This is a huge Browns country, huge Stump Mitchell following here, and it's all happening organically. Stump, I tapped in, and tell us about your experience coming to this area of Ohio.
Well, it's awesome. I mean, doing football camps and just going to different places. The people are definitely big time Brown fans. They just want to see them win. That's what it's all about. And as a matter of fact, right here we got a question from George Mallory. He wanted to know why Kevin doesn't run the ball more. His first year there as a head coach, he did run the ball more. But I think the reason he ran the ball was because he had just left from being under uh, a defensive head coach in Zimmer. So, those defensive head coaches, they want you to run the ball. So Kevin kind of, for the most part, in my opinion, still heard Zimmer in his ear or felt those meetings that he had with Zimmer to run the ball. After that, for the most part, he's been calling more passes than he has run.
Coach and Rich, I want to do a recap and talk about Rich. We'll start with you. What's your prediction for the Browns Bengals game? Give us a final score.
I think the Browns will win 27-21. Like Stump said earlier, the Browns have always really dominated the Bengals. Just that one year when it didn't really mean nothing. And Stump said it perfectly with the Browns rally around Joe Flacco. And I think Joe's going to be a key part of this team this year.
Coach Stump, what are your final thoughts on the opening season uh, for the Browns in the season moving forward?
Well, I think and I hope I'm right. I hope the Browns can have a winning season. I mean, I know a lot of those players, a lot of those guys are older players. They want to win right now and have an opportunity to make some things happen. And I think Joe will do a heck of a job. Of course, they're going to be without JOK, who was very a big part of what they did, and Martin Emerson. But I think they'll find some guys to come and step in and make some things happen. Uh, I hope Jerome get an opportunity to showcase that he can play because he's a 3 down back.
Hey, Stump, a couple questions like the Browns backers have asked me to ask you. With Jerome stepping up, now do you think Quinshawn or Sampson's going to even have a chance at all if Junkins even does come back?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're not going to allow Jerome to get any big numbers unless it just happened. He's going to have to average probably close to 6 yards a carry, 5.5 to get 1,000 yards because they're gonna play those other guys. They made him take a pay cut. They're not trying to let him have any big time stats. It's unfortunate, but that's the way they do business. That's the way they're doing business with him.
And Roy, one thing I do want to announce for the Browns backers this year, we have partnered up with Toys for Tots. So every event that we have, a portion of all our proceeds will go to Toys for Tots this year too.
Very good. We will definitely, like I said, periodically throughout our show, Stump and I will either bring you on or not make an announcement. Again, I want to tell the public and our fans, the T County Browns backers, you can find them on Facebook, Instagram at T County Browns backers. Please, everyone, go follow HOFnetwork.tv, our new streaming service. We're looking forward to our partnership with them, trying to grow that network, a place for sports, football, have a bright future there. And Stump Talk Podcast at Facebook and Instagram. Rich, I'm going to give you some final words and let Stump take us out.
Like I said, I can't thank you enough, Stump. Like I said, you are the main reason why this chapter took off. We are ever grateful to you. Like anytime we can help out this, we're more than there for you. We love you here and respect you, and you're one of our favorites, my friend.
I enjoyed, like I said, coming there. I see Linda is on the line asking a question. Oh well, actually, she's saying she like you guys, and of course me too.
Of course.
And then
Linda,
Petaway
we love
wanted to
you.
know can Newsom stop holding, and I don't know if he can. He does tend to have an opportunity, or he make an opportunity for the other team to get an extra down, either by committing a holding penalty or a personal foul. But now that he's on that corner, hopefully his whole mindset. He is a starter now. That's what he's always wanted. Now, unfortunately, it came due to an injury, but to Martin Emerson. But I think now he's going to have to step up and do it the legal way.
Very good. We want to say hello to our friend Dustin and Alia. Here we go, Brownies, our extended family in the podcast world. And want to say hello to the Bearded Browns and also our girl Lene Dover Shenanigans,
Big
our
time for Lemonade.
headquarters for the Tusc Browns backers. We always take care of our family and show them some love and the people that helped us get to this point today. So definitely want to thank those people, and we look forward to next week. We got some special guests coming. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Coach Stump,
Thank you guys.
Russell Johnson. Look forward. Everyone have a good night.
Thank you
Have a good
guys.
night.
Thank you.
Take care, Rich.
Yeah, you too, Stump.
All right now.